Hey, everyone. Welcome to the Digital Third. You are watching episode 6 of the live stream, and we have the lovely Melissa Mendez. She's been a good friend of ours. For you who are familiar, she's been around the whole Webflow community. She's been a pillar, she also leads and runs an agency, Eureka. And today we're just going to talk about community-driven brands or community-driven businesses, and what is that? What's the future of community? And so, without further ado, we're just gonna bring her on. All right.
Hi.
There you go. That was a little late. The party can start now. What's going on, Melissa?
Hi from me and Teddy.
Oh, hey, Teddy. Awesome. So we had you on 2 episodes ago with Jessica. That was really fun. You were a co-host, but now is your turn. I want to get, just like do a deep dive, get to know you more, give an update because I know you've moved places and you're shifting things around. So, I think that'll be really cool. So let's just welcome some people. We got Corey Flowman in the house. We got Opera.
What's up, Corey?
Tom Boozer, good to see ya. Other people, come say hi, ask the questions. We're going to interact. Today is going to be more low-key. It's going to be chill. We're just going to have just a good conversation about communities. So, all right, we have Eric in here as well. Melissa, for those who don't know you, maybe you can share a little bit of who you are, what you do, and where you're from.
Yeah, so I am Melissa Mendez, originally from Cartagena, Colombia. And I am a agency owner, founder, and CEO, but I'm also a creative director, web developer, web designer, and growth marketer. Oh, and I used to live in Orlando, and now I'm living in London. I don't know if it's permanent, but that's what's happening right now.
Okay, so let's just jump right in there. How are you loving the new vibes in London? Like, what's the biggest difference moving to the UK? Like, in terms of food, the routines. Tell me about that. You must be
Yeah,
loving it.
yeah. Okay, so if you know me, you know that I love art and architecture. So being here, it's like constant inspiration everywhere you go. Like you can literally be walking in the middle of central London and then suddenly you see this beautiful palace out of nowhere. And
Mm,
I guess that's like a normal European thing. But for me, coming from Orlando, where architecture and art wasn't really prevalent like that, it's just been a freaking dream.
wow.
In terms of food, it's absolutely delicious. Obviously, it's just where you go. I consider myself a foodie, so I try to try new cuisines and stuff like that. I do sort of miss that Latin touch that we have in
Okay.
Florida,
Yep.
because in here, the equivalent, it's more like Turkish or Indian food. That's like
Okay.
the normal, like pop and mom and pop shops that you see in the main roads instead of like Pollo Tropical from Florida. You know what I mean? So it definitely has changed a little bit of the way I eat.
Mm,
Also, it is true that whole thing about the food in the US being completely poisoned. Like
okay.
I have lost
Interesting.
weight. I feel so good. The
Wow.
milk doesn't mess me up. Like it really is completely different.
Is the milk a little different there? It's like pasteurized as opposed to like processed, like watered milk kind of
Yeah,
thing. It's
like
different.
well, I think the consistency is the same,
Yep.
but for some reason, it doesn't mess up my stomach. Like in the
Oh.
US, if I drank whole milk,
Yeah.
forget about it. Like I had to be like locked in the bathroom. TMI, but it's true.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Okay.
crazy.
Yeah, because when I go back to Asia, the milk is different. Even I lived in Australia for a little bit, and it was different. It was just I don't know. I think the way
Yeah.
they process it's different. It's cool.
Yep. Yeah.
Okay. What was the last like nice fancy restaurant that you went and ate in London?
So we actually went with the flow party guys. We went to a steakhouse called the Quality Chop House. We ate the most delicious bone-in
Ooh.
ribeye with these potatoes cooked in duck fat.
Ooh.
Josh, when I tell you, I was like drooling. It was so good. And then this weekend, I'm actually going to this new restaurant. It's called like Baccarat or something like that. It's like one of the most beautiful restaurants in London. So I'm excited to try that.
Wow. That's awesome. So every weekend you have something looking forward to eat and try out. That's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, well, last few weeks I've really been with my head down. I really want to finish the Eureka site, which has been in progress for a year,
Wow.
like everybody else.
Yeah.
Uh, I am working a lot on just side projects on the community, so really haven't been like going out like that.
Hmm.
But yeah, when I can,
Okay.
I'll go out and try something new.
Nice. All right. Before we continue and talk about community and everything that you do, I want to kick it off with a nice lightning round questionnaire. We got 10 questions.
Uh,
So just answer the let me see if I can put some music on. Maybe not. Yeah, just answer to as fast as you can. And yeah, okay. Are you ready? Okay,
yes,
beach vacation or mountain getaway? Oh, there's no music. It's all
beach,
good. Okay, yeah, that's good. Pineapple or pepperoni pizza?
pepperoni. Hello.
Yeah. Dogs or cats?
Dogs 1,000%.
All right. Texting or calling?
Texting.
Okay. Winter or summer?
Winter. Wait,
Fi-
no, summer.
Nice. Okay. Fiction or nonfiction books?
Fiction 1,000%.
Oh, what's your favorite series?
A cord of a cord of wait a cord of thorns and roses.
Oh, okay, okay. Sounds
It's the
exotic.
things that in short is Akatar, but it's my
Okay.
favorite book ever.
Okay, cool, cool. Sweet or savory snacks?
Sweet.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Board games
Yeah.
or video games?
Video games.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Morning person or night owl?
Night owl for sure.
And are you introvert or extrovert?
Extrovert. I mean, come on.
Yeah. Awesome. Cool, cool. Okay, so where should we go from here? Let's talk about obviously you started Flow Party. Let me I want to share my screen and talk about that. This amazing website that was built together with what Joseph Barry, Joe Moore, who else? Your team, Tyler.
Yeah.
And so you have some courses in there, and you guys meet weekly in Butter.
Yep.
So tell me
Hmm.
more about like what you guys do at Flow Party for those who
Yeah.
don't know.
So we do weekly events every Thursday. We used to do them on Friday, but we moved it to Thursday. And we talk about different topics. So whatever we want to learn. So we can talk about design or webflow development. Sometimes we've tried like new tools like Framer or what's the X one from Wix, Editor X.
Editor X, yeah. Hmm.
Yeah. So we try to learn a little bit of everything. And that's for an hour. We usually bring a special guest to teach us whatever their specialty is.
Hmm.
And then once that hour is done, we stop the streaming, which is like put on YouTube, and then we stay for what we call the after party,
Right.
and that's where
Nice.
everybody unwinds, has some drinks, shares frustrations, stories, whatever it is, and that's like sort of like where we bond together.
Awesome. And I can see the Flow Party people are in the audience. They got your
Yeah.
back, We got Raul, Gabriel, got some other familiar faces. So this is great. And I think that's kind of like your niche, hey? Like that's how you started. It was just a place. Like it was during the pandemic. Was that when it started? Everyone was meeting on Zoom.
No.
No, was it before?
Um, I mean, it was kind of like at the end of the pandemic. I started the flow party a year and a half ago.
Hmm.
So the pandemic was sort of already over. There were still some restrictions, but yeah, like it was after.
Okay. Got it.
Yeah. But yeah, I think because of the restrictions, it was just easier for us to meet because a lot of people were just at home. Many people didn't really want to travel.
Mm-hmm.
Now in summer, people are away. So we try to like take a little bit of breaks here and there in summer because we
Mm-hmm.
know that people are spending time with families and whatever. But yeah, I guess at the beginning it was just people were really, really looking for that human connection,
Mm-hmm.
and it just came at the perfect time. It was totally like
You
not
you didn't
planned.
plan it,
Everything
yeah.
was organic. No,
Right.
nothing.
Awesome. And it was a huge hit. And I think from how I observe you guys is like your niche is, well, you name yourself the party, right? It's always having a good time.
Yeah.
How important is that to create new communities? Like having that I don't know, yeah, that experience of being casual, low key. It's you can just relax. Yeah, how have you found that when you grew your community?
Yeah. So I think that, like everything, you should treat every single hobby or like side hustle as a business. Like that's really usually how everything works.
Mm-hmm.
Um, for me, it was solving my problem.
Okay.
And the problem that I used to have at the beginning when I was learning Webflow was that all of the tutorials that were on YouTube were very serious and like robotic.
Mm.
And it got to a point that I just couldn't even learn unless it was the Webflow University that's very witty,
Mm-hmm.
their tutorials are really cool. But when I wanted to do something different, I would land into a tutorial and it would just be so slow. And I was like, oh my God, just get to the point. Like, I wanted to die. So when I decided to do the flow party, I was like, you know what? I'm going to throw a party. Like,
Right.
we're going to throw a party and learn Webflow. We're going to make it fun. I want to have drinks. If people want to eat, like anything, just super chill. Um, and I think that because that was an element on top of the learning,
Mm-hmm.
it was very attractive to people.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the people at the beginning were coming thinking that this was an actual party. Like
Mm-hmm.
the first party that people came, there were a lot of people that saw the tweets and they were like, oh, I thought this was like a virtual party, but you're actually like learning. I love this. Oh my God, this is so cool. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um, so it kind of like felt fresh to a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
And then on top of that, I think that for communities itself, and this I have told people before, if you're going to do a community, just make it original, like make it yours, because people will end up getting attracted to that no
Mm.
matter what that is. So for example, I think you know this person, Dustin. He is passionate about chess,
Oh yeah. He's got a wicked
right?
mustache too, or yeah, mustache.
That's exactly what I was going to say. So he has
Yeah.
this amazing mustache like Salvador Dali, and he's just this really cool guy.
Let's see if I can
So
pull him up. Yeah.
yeah, and I told him like just do a community of chess players. Like you are perfect for that. You know what I mean? And it just
Yeah.
has this whole like vibe behind it, like all of this intellectual vibe. So I just, not to get like deviated from the story, I just feel like as long as you inject like your own personality to it, that it's just original and unique to you,
Mm.
there will be people that will feel attracted to that because they want to feel that they belong.
Right. Okay, it's interesting. So you're touching into like personal branding in a sense, right? Like the brand has to be strong because, well, at least for Dustin and Chess and his interest, they're like interest-based communities. How important is, yeah, like branding with community when you're starting one?
Yeah, I think it's very, very important. And this is the thing. People think that communities start with 1,000 people,
Mm-hmm.
and it doesn't work like that. Communities start with one person that just shares that with you. So having that DNA is so important. So it represents that small group that
Mm,
will end up attracting the other group that feel related to that initial brand.
right.
You get what I'm saying? To that
Mm-hmm.
initial DNA.
Yeah.
So in my case, the DNA was me. So that is different. I
Mm-hmm.
wouldn't really recommend this to everybody because it just happened to be my personality, my partier, or I mean, I don't really party, guys, but my happy personality. Um, but for another type of community, I think it's important to have that strong branding because it will end up attracting people that feel related to that DNA.
Right. Yeah, yeah. So in my case, your case, Dustin's and some others, it's more tied to a personality, a person, right? And all their values kind of wrap around that. What do you have you seen communities built around a business or product or a company? Like, well, I mean, like Webflow is like super unique, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, what can you say about that? Or like even maybe, yeah, someone like FinSuite or Reloom. Um, what can you speak to on companies creating communities around their business?
Yeah. So I think like now every company wants to call their customers a
Yeah,
community.
right. Hmm.
And I think that it's their dream to have a community within their customers.
Hmm.
But very rarely that is the case because a community means people supporting each other and feeling like they belong to that space, that group of people, like they have this tight knit community,
Hmm.
you know? Webflow is a great example of that. Why? Because they have been nurturing their clients with educational content, with giveaways and things like that. They feel like they care
Hmm.
about the community. Another example is Glossier. They're
Okay.
like a skincare brand.
Hmm.
They have such a strong community because they were one of the first brands that focused on inclusivity. And
Interesting.
it took the industry by storm. And all of those people that really didn't feel they fit in into different makeup brands like Chanel or Tarte or NARS or whatever, they found this one space where they actually felt like, oh damn, like see, like I'm overweight, and they include me in their ads, or
Mm,
I'm interracial couple, and like they have different shades for my type of skin.
mm,
So they felt like they belonged there. So I think that it's very easy to call your clients or your customers a community, but in reality, you just have to like really nurture them to
right.
actually create a space where they feel safe to share, to talk, to give opinions, suggestions, and this and that.
Okay, so very interesting. It seems like the community, business, communities that surround businesses is kind of like the evolution of just customer support in some sense, right? Like you're just getting more
Yeah.
engaged, obviously with social media and things like that, right? So do you think that is basically the standard now? And if you don't create a community around your business, then you're behind? Um, yeah, what are your thoughts on that? And then I have another follow-up question.
Yeah. So I really think that customer like the outmost customer service should be provided to your customers.
Hmm.
Like no matter what, that should be in the DNA of your business. So let's go as small as my agency, for example.
Hmm.
We are a team of a very small team, but I treat my clients like I will die if I miss a deadline. Like,
Mm,
it's something that I really take very serious. So I think that every business should nurture their customer service to feel like they care, they're
mm.
important. So I'm trying to think of a company that has really, really bad reviews, but people still buy for it from it, because there's a dichotomy there.
Yeah.
Like, you
What are
know,
they sticking around for, right?
it has to be because the product is just too good, too
Mm,
good.
mm-hmm.
But apart from that, it's loyalty, and that's that one term, customer loyalty. That's where your most loyal customers are your most valuable customers, and that's what you should nurture throughout your whole uh, business strategy. Like, that's
Mm-hmm.
how you grow a community. And then from there, after you nurture, you know, your client, your customers, making sure that you provide the best service every day, that they come to you and buy. Once you have given them all that love for so long, then it's the time that you actually can tell them, like, okay, so now that we have provided all of this support, we've given you all this love,
Mm,
now we want to offer you something better for this price.
right.
And that's where you open a new revenue stream. So maybe I kind of like jump loops, but
Yeah, yeah.
that's how I see it.
Okay, yeah, like provide value up front, build the trust, build the connection, and then if you're gonna ask for something, then just ask like much later after you've proven that you've given so much value. People almost
Exactly.
wanna give back. It's like the law of reciprocity, right?
Yeah, exactly. Like, many people at the beginning, when I started the flow party, like 4 months down the line, 6 months down the line, this was going up and up and up. And people were like, okay, you have to charge. Like, it's time for you to charge. And I'm like, no. Like, people don't even feel that connection yet. Like, I need to nurture this community more. It takes
Mm-hmm.
more time, it takes more effort. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Interesting. Okay. Obviously, you have a little bit of reservation of charging your community or friends or things like that. Um, but yet, we're talking about businesses creating a product and then creating a community around that. Ultimately, and you said that that's a strategy. So you definitely feel this. I think like you don't want to be fake. You don't want to be
Yeah,
have a hidden agenda to like sell something, like be nice in order to sell them. But yet
exactly.
you've acknowledged that businesses do create this community for as part of their business strategy to sell more, right?
Yeah.
So how do you kind of reconcile the two? Can you have a balance of like business and transactions and authentic relationships? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So I think it's like a natural evolution of things, because I feel like at the beginning I was like, absolutely not. I'm not charging my friends. When you create a community and you're
Mm-hmm.
so involved in it every single day, the members become your friends.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like you going to your best friend, like, hey, to come to my house, you have to pay $20. You know what I mean? It's like, what the you
Entrance
know what
fee,
I
yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
But I think at the point where we are right now, it feels, and this is instinct in business, I guess, I don't know, but it kind of feels like people want premium. They want to
Mm,
learn more. Like,
right.
the free stuff doesn't cut it anymore,
Right.
because we have grown so much from where we started that
Yeah.
now it's a moment to kind of like, okay, let's double down on this. Let's learn more things
Mm-hmm.
that maybe are going to cost a little bit more money, not only to outsource, maybe from like special guests and stuff like this, but to actually package it
Mm-hmm.
up in a way that it feels more advanced. So
Right.
that's why I say that it feels like natural evolution, because I could keep doing the same thing that I'm doing forever,
Mm-hmm.
but I want to grow with my community.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because all
Yeah.
of the recordings, all of the things that we have done for the past year and a half, all of that is saved. If you just join the flow party, you will be able to go back and go through that same phase.
Hmm.
But the people that have already crossed that threshold, they need something premium. They need more.
Right. Yeah, I agree. I think it touches on really this concept of value, right? Like if you value something really high, you will transact and or pay something for it too, right? Money is just
Mhm.
a what is it? An exchange of value. And so I think it's fine, but for some reason, yeah, maybe we just have this expectation that like everything should be free. But it's interesting
Yeah,
for there's it's a psychological study that those who actually pay for things, they actually value it more. So
of course.
if you pay for a course or a certain, yeah, like attaining certain knowledge or skill sets, and if you think that you deserve that for free, I think that cheapens the whole industry, and it cheapens everything else, right? Like even the way you treat friends, families, everything. If you feel so entitled, I don't think that's a good outlook. So yeah, it's interesting how you touch
Hmm.
on that.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah. Um, and I think we had some talk about.
Wait, did I have to give you my point of view on that last
Oh no,
point?
no, no, no.
Oh,
You
okay,
can, you can share. Do you
okay.
have one?
No, yeah, I think it's true. I mean, um, the fact that the flow party is cheap probably bothers a lot of other communities that do charge stuff, because they're like, okay, wait, this girl's like giving away all of this knowledge while we're here almost teaching the same thing, but we're charging. That
Hmm.
even happens with influencers. Like I have influencer friends that know girls that are just starting, but they have a good engagement. And this girl charges 4 grand for a post while the other one takes the product for free.
Hmm.
So they're like, it's not fair
Hmm.
because it's just cheapening the whole industry. You know what I mean? And it's just a business at the end of the day.
Yeah, yeah, that's interesting. How to again, yeah, balancing like business and community and authentic relationships, right? I think if you're just
Hmm.
clear and upfront and transparent, and I mean, businesses need money to operate and things like that too. So I think just understanding that, that's fine. But I think at the end of the day, is like if you're a person who like wants something and you have the funds to pay for it, then that's the exchange, right? Um,
Yep.
Otherwise, I think the world doesn't work if everything's all given away because this is the system. So
Yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
yeah, very
Hmm.
interesting, very interesting. Okay, I don't know where to go from here.
What else? We're done.
Hang on, no, no, no. Let me. That was deep. I thought I had a whole bunch of things to
You
expand
have.
on that. Um, okay, like I want to talk about. I want. Okay, we're gonna switch gears here.
Okay.
I want to talk
I'm like
about your.
scared of what you have
No,
there
no,
in your
no.
little
Your
notes.
home environment. Like usually, I ask people in terms of. Okay, now I remember. Sorry, guys. This is gonna be really awkward on the podcast, but you know, this is how I roll. Okay, you've done something pretty unique because you run an agency, and usually businesses build communities around a product, but you are more of like a service based offering for your agency. So, um, yeah, how have you balanced that? Because and like, let's say for strategy wise and stuff, like how does the community help your agency, or does it not? And really, you're just creating it out of the love for creating the community.
um so it does. I feel like at the beginning when everything kind of goes up and then it goes down. Everything
Mm-hmm.
there's that saying that says whatever goes up has to go down.
Mm-hmm.
So at the beginning of the flow party, I feel like I was riding sort of like the wave of like the Webflow documentary coming out, then the flow party community coming out. So in that point, I think the community was bringing clients.
Mm-hmm.
But now I'm seeing it more as how do I marry the two?
Mm-hmm.
So Eureka can support the flow party and the flow party can support Eureka. So obviously what we've done is like we put some of our resources, which is our time and money, into the flow party for it to survive
Mm,
to a
mm-hmm.
point where the flow party can actually make money and help Eureka also do things on the side. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean?
Right.
So it's this like loop that we're building,
Got it.
um, because like I think we have a very unique situation where it's sort of like FinSuite. Like FinSuite has the
Mm-hmm.
same thing. They have their community, they have their agency, and now they also have a product, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do they have a
Mm-hmm.
product?
Yeah, yeah. All the
So
development tools. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. So it's sort of like the same thing. And my dream situation is for all of them three to support each other. Right now is Eureka supporting the Flow Party,
Mm-hmm.
and the Flow Party then after should level
Yeah.
up with Eureka.
And I think that's a thing that businesses or agencies or people setting up communities have to realize, that it's a long-term play, it's a long-term investment, and like you don't get a lot of ROI like right away. It's really investing in, like we talked about, relationships, developing people's
Yeah,
skills, and I think it's more of like a goodwill uh department,
100%.
right? So I
Yep.
love that. Okay, so your agency basically funds and keeps the community alive. And so without
Yep,
that,
exactly.
it wouldn't be around. So
Nope,
okay,
it
interesting.
wouldn't be around. And my time, I think that's the one that it's. I mean, if I turned my time into money,
Hmm.
it I would flip out probably. But yeah, I mean, look, there's a really cool case study that I've been following for so long. I work out every morning
Okay.
with this girl on. I have her app now. She's called Silvana, Sylvie. I started working out with her in the pandemic.
Mm.
She would go on Instagram live and go like do a certain like a routine, a workout routine.
So
So
you
it would
you
be
work out
weights
with
or
her?
whatever. Yeah, so I would work out
Okay.
with her and like thousands of people. So at the beginning, she was having like 600 people connected. She was already sort of like an influencer on Instagram, maybe had like 200,000 followers. And when we started, she would get 600 people connected working out with her
Live. Wow.
live on Instagram. Remember, everybody was
Nuts.
at home,
Yeah.
everything was locked up, so it was perfect. As the week started, uh, going by,
Mm-hmm.
her number of people connected started going to 1,000, 2,000, 3,000. I'm
Wow.
telling you, like 3,000 people at the same time
Yeah.
working out with her because the routines were so good. And we were literally, she was in her bedroom with bottles of water, like gallons of
What?
water as weights, with like a
That's
book bag with like books inside to put weights, because that's like the time that
Oh,
weights
wow.
were like out of stock because
Yeah,
everybody
yeah.
was working out at home.
Hopefully you were
So
doing the same.
of course, I was like
Yeah.
literally with my bottles of water with like a broomstick in the back to do like the
That's
it
hardcore.
was like
That's
a whole
hardcore.
thing. Yeah. And it was just so good that I'm telling you, Josh, she grew in a year from 200,000 to 1 million followers on Instagram. Girl was
Wow.
getting consistent 4,000 people live working out with her every single day. She was
Every
working
day.
out from Monday to Saturday, I think.
Wow.
This
Wow.
was because of the goodness of her heart. I mean, she still needed to work out. She was like a fitness influencer,
Okay.
but she just decided to do it live. But
Hmm.
still, as more people started connecting, she needed to have like, graphics ready and like
Mm.
tweet about
Okay.
it or share about it and whatever. And then at the year mark, she came out with a 3-month program that was $268.
Okay.
A- And the girl made 1 million and something dollars
Wow.
from all of this love that she gave and all
Mm-hmm.
of the nurture that she gave all of her followers on Instagram, working out every single day for a year.
Wow.
Fast forward to today, she has an app that she developed with her team. She has a full team. She creates now routines on her app, and you pay $49, and she's killing it.
Wow, that's
So,
interesting. So that started just with one person. It wasn't a team, it wasn't a company. Um,
yep.
I wonder how can we do that with Webflow?
Yeah.
Someone
Literally, like
watching
just
here
going
and
live.
listening,
Yeah.
go live every day and do a
Every
build
day.
like landing page or a hero section every day. That is interesting
Hmm.
because it's all about consistency, right? And that's what builds the
Yeah.
momentum daily.
Yeah.
Wow.
And a necessity. Like people, as I was telling you, like my necessity was fun tutorials. Like I just needed to have fun.
Yeah.
There's a gap in the community. We need maybe like people that show us how to do stuff every single day. So every single day you can actually go live, show
Hmm.
people how you do it
Hmm.
for an hour, and that's it. That's your 1 hour time to show people, and then you do that for a year, which sounds brutal, but
Right.
that's just how it is. And then after that you can just create your business.
Every day is a little intense. Maybe weekly. I don't know. Well, I guess it depends on like your drive, right? That
Yeah,
is neat.
exactly. I mean, when you see the million and something dollars that she earned a week
Right.
after selling workout routines, like that's
Hmm.
wild.
Yeah. That's interesting because I'm sure, well, I haven't checked her out, but I'm sure the workout routines that she's selling isn't much different from what she was already giving for free every day.
No, no, they were almost the same thing.
Yeah.
And she even has the free routines in her Instagram. Like I have them in a folder saved on my Instagram. But
Mm.
I just love the fact that I can follow the whole routine of like the plan
Mm-hmm.
shredder two or whatever, and I can just follow every single day and then go into the next plan, workout plan. You know
Mm.
what I mean? And whenever she wants to go live again,
Mm-hmm.
I'm there. Like I will go
Interesting.
live because it's just so fun. Like you end up soaked. She's just, and then that's the other thing. Like nobody's you, and that is your power.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody can do it, but it's
Okay.
just how you do it. You know what I
Now
mean?
I can hear the introvert saying like, "Yeah, that's good for you guys because you guys are extroverts. It's you're natural." What would you say to those people? Because maybe that's not their thing to be in front of a camera or even let alone be live. Yeah.
Well, okay, so if this is something that you really, really want to do, my tip is record yourself in private every single day for a few minutes. Honestly, that's what I did at the beginning. I remember like what, 3 years ago or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
2 years ago, I would text my friends like I cringe so hard when I'm in front of the camera. Like I
Yeah.
cannot. And I was like, you know what? This is not going to be bigger than me. I'm going to record myself every single day until I lose until I kind of like get loose. And that's how I did it. So if that's something that you want to do, that's a good tip.
Mm,
Just
that's really
don't
good.
back up from it.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. Okay. Any other tips for those who want to like start their own community? Whether it's a business or maybe an agency like yours. If you had to do it again, how would you how would you start all over again, and what best practices would you do?
I think and I've said this before, consistency is so important.
Hmm.
Everybody says like I can open a community, like I can do it. Okay, yeah, I want to see you consistently do it every
Hmm.
single week or whatever schedule you want to do.
Hmm.
It's very, very, very important because people need to feel safe that they can count on you to
Okay.
what you promised that you were going to do.
Mm,
So that's super, super important.
got it. And I feel like you need to understand the needs of your community too, right? Like what is the pain point? What problem are you
Yeah.
solving for them? Because if you can get them there much closer to solve their problem, I think, then you have an audience. I
Yeah.
think being clear on
Well,
that.
I mean, that's also another thing. Like, if you have a community, you should know what their pain
Mm-hmm.
points are.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you shouldn't be guessing.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of went through like a little phase where I was really not there mentally, and I just needed like a break. And it was really hard to know what was happening within, like, inside of my community.
Mm-hmm.
So being connected, being there,
Mm-hmm.
listening to what people are actually saying, answering questions,
Mm.
helping people, that should just give you the answer right there.
I think that makes all the difference, right? Because if you again, you're a person who's just more strategic and just creating community for the sake of like transactions and stuff, you're not going to pay attention to people. You're just gonna
Yeah, but
you're
then
paying more
that's
attention to the
that
system.
really a community.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, people know, people are not stupid. Like, they know when it's a cash grab.
Right.
So
Right.
yeah, it's important to be involved.
Yeah. Okay. Very very good. Those are good tips. So awesome.
I see you like thinking like, oh,
Well,
okay,
I'm
yeah,
just
maybe.
learning so much. This is like even maybe I should do a daily workout and live stream it.
Yeah, do it. Like,
Yeah.
it's so important. I think Tommy does it. Tommy, I forget his
Gyoko?
last name. Yeah, he
Oh,
goes on
okay.
live often, and he has a good following. So
Yeah.
it's because he's so active all the time. So maybe give it a try.
Yeah, it's a whole new world for sure. I think this is the thing where there aren't any playbooks being written and you have to go out and try new things and there's crazy opportunities like you said. Like a year later,
Mhm.
if you do ask the community to buy something, then you can make something as high as 1 million or more. I don't know. That's
Yeah,
still insane. That's insane. Yeah, it's crazy for me.
yeah, insane. But it is possible, like, I feel like communities are very similar to marketplaces. I have a special place in my heart for marketplaces because that's like my first um sort of like business venture.
Mm-hmm.
And it's what how they grow is called the snowball effect.
Mm,
Like, once you get that momentum going, it doesn't stop. So
right.
maybe if you start your lives next week, you keep going. It's like it compounds more and more and more
Mm.
and more people watch it. Even if maybe at the beginning, if it doesn't feel like it's growing, it will.
Yeah, I've heard like YouTubers say like if you're gonna start a channel, just expect your first 100 videos are gonna be crap and no one's gonna watch it. But I think what's more important is doing the work. Like, don't worry about the audience. Like, worry more or focus more on building the routines, the daily disciplines,
Yeah.
the consistency. Right. So
Yeah.
yeah. I see Maggie here. She wants me to do daily design workouts. Sure.
No, but did you see what Corey wrote?
My new community, Dad Bods. Yeah. Join me as we discuss our ever growing bellies. Hey, I will watch that.
For real, me too. That would be
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
funny.
That's so good. You know what? I think there's a huge opportunity and niche for flow parents. Like just parents.
I think so
I mean,
too.
I obviously am biased because I relate to that, but there's very little content out there. There is yeah, the Flow Parents meetup, which happens I think monthly. That's via the FinSuite and that's run by Pixelita. But it is funny, like as a parent, I often don't have time or I just don't follow up on it. But I think there's a gap.
I
There's an
think,
opportunity.
yeah, but I think it should be a podcast that they can just play and like hear people complain and make fun of like how miserable this shit is. Oop,
Yeah.
sorry.
Okay. Well, Maggie, she is a super mom because she just got back to work after having two kids and her second. Oh, hopefully, I'm
Oh
not
my
sharing too much, but I mean, she was working and while looking after her second baby and like insane. That's like late into the night. I can do it. I don't have the energy, but yeah, super mom for sure.
No, I'm telling you, I admire you guys so much because I just don't understand how you guys do it.
Yeah, I I don't know. I think you just have to scrounge up whatever energy you have and just do it. It's pure survival.
For
It's a
real.
different world.
Like last like a couple weeks ago when we were in the call here on the digital third with
Hmm.
Jessica, at the end you were like, do you guys mind staying a little bit longer? My dog had me pulled by the sleeve, like, mom, let's go outside. And I'm just here like, oh my god, like trying to like, I can't imagine what it is with a kid.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, wow. This conversation just took a big turn because I could go into that. That's like a whole another episode. I mean, that's where daycare comes in, but then daycare costs a lot. And then you got to work harder
Expensive.
to pay for daycare. And then, it's a challenge. Sometimes do you like weigh out, well, the money that I could have spent in daycare, maybe it's better just keeping it in my pocket and I'll just keep my baby at home, or if you have a
But
spouse,
then you
anyways.
kind of have to like be with the baby 24/7.
Yeah, yeah, which drives you crazy, so it's not sustainable. But yeah, Maggie's agreeing
See,
with me.
so
Pure survival.
that's actually another topic that I found here in the UK, different from America.
Okay.
I
Yep.
would feel that having a family here is easier than in America because in
Mm.
America, everything is so damn expensive
Mm-hmm.
that like taking your kid to daycare will literally like ruin you.
It's like a
And
mortgage.
here, there's so many options
Mm-hmm.
for parents. You see the moms walking around because they have like maternal leave and whatever.
Okay.
Over there, it's just a war zone.
What you guys don't have mat leave, right? In the States, it's like 6 weeks
It,
off and then
yeah,
something
it's
like
like
that.
super short.
Yeah, wow.
It's wild.
That is wild.
Yeah. And like paternal leave, it's like 2 weeks.
Wow. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
nuts.
it's crazy.
I feel a little better in Canada. Well, it depends on
Oh,
the company, but yeah, I mat leave can be 6 months to a year, which is great.
oh no.
Yeah.
Oh no, forget about it. The US, listen, the US is cool if you want to make money and
Mm-hmm.
work yourself to the ground.
Right.
Europe and Europe, the UK is more similar to the US. You can still work a lot,
Mm-hmm.
but the work-life balance is much better.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm just
Mhm.
looking at what Corey said. Uh, Maternity, paternal leave in the US is completely dependent on the company you work for. Yeah, I see.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was obsessed with all the Nordic countries like Finland, Sweden. They have amazing social systems that just take care of
Oh, yeah.
families and even
Mhm.
schooling, like, it's all for free. Um, yeah, I've been really fascinated with that. I think it's
Yeah,
amazing.
that's like the dream.
Yeah.
But also, they're very like chill countries. Like it's very, everything's very controlled. So like I like a little bit of chaos.
Yeah.
But again, I don't have a kid, so I don't know. But
Yeah.
if I had a family, that would be a dream.
Yeah. Yeah, different seasons of life, right? Okay.
Exactly.
Speaking of that, I want to ask about, like, you've moved, you're in London. We talked a little bit about this with Jessica. But like your routines, how you said that you basically had to shuffle all like your routines back in Florida and made it the same in London. But how different has that been? Was it hard to just, you know, force yourself into that? Yeah, walk me through that process.
Yeah, it was very hard because for some reason, I mean, you know that there's jet lag,
Mm-hmm.
but I think there's jet lag for routine too, like
Mm-hmm.
lifestyle jet lag, I think. So when I first got here, I was like waking up at like 1 p.m., which would be like 7 in Orlando.
Mm.
And I would try to wake up early and go to bed early, but my body just couldn't. Also, I had to leave my dogs in the US. So I think I was depressed. Like,
Mm.
obviously, there were a lot of changes. So all of those changes really affected my routine and, and result my performance at my job and my community.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to really push myself to like really wake up at this time. You have to work out. You have to meditate because my mental health, that's something that we talk about it sometimes, but
Mm-hmm.
not really. And I was just not there mentally.
Mm-hmm.
And I had to just push myself to be centered again. I'm a very ambitious person. I'm a go-getter, and to be like that, you kind of have to be very disciplined.
Mm-hmm.
So I was not being disciplined at all. So I said one day, you know what? I'm going to be on my glow up era. I really have to wake up at 8:30 because we're freelancers or agency owners.
Yeah,
We can
right.
wake up at whatever time we want. So for me it was 8:30. Like, I'm not
Okay.
a 5 a.m. girly.
Yeah.
So 8:30, workout for an hour,
Do you eat
uh
breakfast before or
meditate.
after?
What?
Do you work out first before breakfast?
Yeah, before breakfast.
Okay. Okay. Yep.
So yeah, so wake up, workout, then right after I felt like I needed to regulate like my mental health, and
Mm-hmm.
that's where the meditation came in.
Okay.
So I meditate for like 10 minutes, stretch, then take a shower, really like get pretty, makeup, hair,
Mm.
everything, just to make myself feel good.
Mm-hmm.
And then from there, you know work.
So when do you
So
is that at 10 o'clock or 9? When does work yeah. Is it around 10 o'clock? Or it depends.
no, I start work at like 11
Okay.
o'clock. Like, I'm not a person that has to be
Nice.
sitting down by 9 a.m.
Okay. Nice. Okay, so
Yeah.
then you do work. Do you do like deep work up front or it depends on the day? Like, do you do admin work? How do you balance like the energy levels there?
What do you mean?
So when you sit down at like after you've done your workouts and stuff like that, and when you do work, do you usually do like deep work, which is just focus? You cut everything out. You do design, or do you start with like admin? Um,
Yeah. Yeah, so I start with whatever is easier first.
okay.
So emails, if I have to send proposals, if I need to talk to the team or whatever, I do that in the morning.
Mm,
If I have stuff, for example, if I need to send an email from the flow party, whatever it is that needs to be done in the spot, so I don't have to like stop
mm.
after and do it. And then once that is done, I go into focus work the
Oh,
whole day.
okay. Oh, interesting.
Mhm. Yeah.
Nice. And then
Yeah.
there are some days you just stop at 5, and then you have the evening off.
Oh, yeah. So I was really disciplined with that when I was in Orlando, but now that I'm here, I'm not really super disciplined with that.
Mm.
If I feel like I'm tired, I'll take a break, like 5:30 or 6. I'll have something to eat, and then after, I love late night sessions.
Oh, okay.
So I'll
Yeah.
continue working at night, and I love it.
Okay. Yeah. Got it. Got it. Right. It's like
You
the
know,
mood
getting
is
that party
set.
vibes.
Yeah. You got the night light on, the lights are
Yeah,
down. Yeah, that's good. That's awesome.
exactly. Yep.
Cool. Well, I think our time is up. Thanks for hanging out, Melissa. That was really
Thank
awesome.
you for inviting me. Of course, it's always a pleasure to talk with you. So thank you for inviting me.
Yes, it was a pleasure. For those who want to get involved, I know you talked about Flow Party. And is there anything you want to share about that?
Yes. So we have sort of the premium version of the flow party coming up, early bird in October 10th. So if you're interested in learning about it and possibly signing up, just go to our website and leave your information there, and you'll receive an email once the seats are available for purchase. All of the
Okay.
description is on the bottom, what we're going to be doing. It's going to change a little bit from what we have there. So, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Like the live and share it with your
Yes.
friends.
Thanks. Awesome, everyone. Well, thanks for listening. And Melissa, always a pleasure. Hope to have you on back on the stream again to promote more things. Yeah, with that, have a wonderful day. Okay.
Thank you.
Take
Bye,
care. See
guys.
you.